Things every 90s kid had in their bedroom. If you grew up in the 90s, close your eyes and picture your childhood bedroom. Chances are, no matter where you lived, it looked strangely similar to millions of other bedrooms across the country. There was a kind of unspoken uniform to childhood back then, and almost nobody escaped it. Somewhere near your bed sat a boombox, silver or black, with 2 cassette decks so you could record your favorite songs off the radio. You'd sit with your finger hovering over the record button, waiting for the DJ to stop talking so you could catch the song from the very beginning. Your walls were covered in posters. Maybe a boy band, maybe a basketball star, maybe a movie poster with the corners already curling from tape that had been repositioned one too many times. Every poster told people exactly who you wanted to be that year. A shelf somewhere held your collection of cassette tapes, maybe a few CDs if you were lucky enough to have a CD player. Each one carefully labeled in your own handwriting, track lists scribbled onto tiny inserts that never quite fit back into the case properly. Underneath your bed or stuffed in a closet was a shoebox of trading cards. Basketball, baseball, maybe Pokemon if you were a little younger. You knew exactly which ones were valuable, at least according to playground rumors nobody could actually confirm. Your bookshelf had a row of Goosebumps books, spines cracked from reading them under the covers with a flashlight. Next to them, maybe a diary with a tiny lock and an even tinier key that never actually stopped anyone from reading it if they really wanted to. A Game Boy sat charged and ready on your nightstand, or more likely, not charged at all because you'd forgotten again and now had to wait for new batteries. The little green screen glowed faintly in the dark long after you were supposed to be asleep. Somewhere in the room, tangled in a drawer, was a Walkman with headphones that never quite worked in both ears at the same time. You'd wiggle the cord just right, find that one specific angle, and hold perfectly still so the music wouldn't cut out. A landline phone with an impossibly long cord sat just outside your door, stretched to its absolute limit so you could drag it into your room and close the door for a private conversation your whole family could still hear through the walls. Your desk, if you had one, held a stack of mixed tapes you'd carefully curated for friends, each one representing hours of work pressing pause and play at exactly the right moment to avoid catching the DJ's voice at the start of a song. A corkboard on the wall was covered in photographs, actual printed photographs, curling slightly at the edges, held up with thumbtacks next to movie ticket stubs and notes passed in class that had somehow survived the year. Beanie Babies sat in a neat row on a shelf, tags carefully protected in little plastic cases because somebody's older cousin swore they'd be worth a fortune someday. Most of us are still waiting. A lava lamp glowed softly in the corner, slowly bubbling away, providing just enough light to read by after your parents said lights out. It never actually lit the room well, but it made everything feel a little more like your own space. Somewhere near the door was a poster board covered in stickers, puffy ones, scratch and sniff ones, holographic ones traded at school like tiny currency. Every sticker told a story about a trade, a friendship, or a lunch money bribe. Your closet held a stack of VHS tapes, some recorded off television completely by accident, commercials and all, because nobody wanted to waste a whole tape rewinding to find the exact right spot. These weren't just objects scattered around a room. They were the physical evidence of who you were that year, what you loved, who your friends were, and what the entire world felt like from the safety of 4 familiar walls. Today's kids have entire universes contained inside a single device. No posters needed. No mixtapes. No shoeboxes of cards under the bed. Everything exists in a cloud somewhere, accessible instantly, but somehow less physical, less permanent, less truly yours in the same tangible way. If you can still remember the specific smell of a new cassette tape, the weight of a Game Boy in your palm, the particular sound of dial-up connecting through the wall, you're carrying something that can't quite be recreated. A bedroom that existed nowhere else in the world exactly the way yours did, filled completely with the physical proof of an entire childhood. That bedroom is probably gone now, repainted, repurposed, filled with someone else's things. But somewhere in a memory, it's still exactly the way you left it, cassette tape stacked just so, poster slightly crooked on the wall, lava lamp still glowing softly in the corner of a childhood that belonged completely to you.